GM everybody. Welcome to the Jinzo show. Usually Wake and Jake, but today we rebranded because I'm solo. You know how it goes. Probably going to be a little bit of a lower, like a shorter show, just because obviously it's easier when we're two and we get to bounce ideas. Unless you guys want to chime in, then yeah, go ahead. Obviously, I'm always all for it. But yeah, let's get right into it here. Um, the coins are a little low compared to last week, huh? They came down a little bit. You have Bitcoin down 4.5% to 104.5. Ethereum is flat. Believe it or not, Ethereum is the best asset in the world. Where Max is again. It stayed at 2,500, only down about 0.5% on the week. XRP down 7%. We always mention XRP now, right? Because it's one of the big boys now. Solana took a big hit at 13%, down to 153. It feels like people are just kind of moving on from Solana. Maybe that's because Hyperliquid's been doing so well, and yeah, Hyperliquid's been was doing so well. It ran up to 37 or almost 40 on the week, and then came back down to 33 for actually losing. It actually lost 10% on the week. I guess the big run might have came last Monday or whatever it was, but that's been a crazy run for Hyperliquid. I think it's sucking dry a little bit of the Solana streets. We saw a lot of like shitcoins do well there. We saw a lot of just people leveraging like crazy. It's just in the like in basically everywhere, all over Twitter. All you see is that James Wynn guy, and how he's taking big wins and big losses, and how he's the biggest DJ on the planet right now. And actually, now that I'm mentioning him, I think he's kind of the reason why Bitcoin took such a big hit today. Today it looks like it started trending downwards because he made another public announcement on a long position on Bitcoin, and actually the market makers started selling aggressively as soon as he said that, because they were trying to liquidate him. His liquidation price was something like 103.6. Got really close. I think it got to 103.8 before it started moving back up. And James Wynn being James Wynn, it had to turn into a drama series over here where he started asking people for money, and he started begging people to kind of fight back and to buy Bitcoin, and it became a whole mess. It was actually a lot of fun to follow along on the timeline, but I think that's one of the reasons why we're getting a little bit suppressed right now, is that whole battle going on. And obviously other bigger issues like Europe just not playing ball. It's not their conversations with the US on tariffs is just not going anywhere, and I think that might be affecting the markets a little bit. Probably less relevant to markets right now is also the big. I don't you guys might have seen it, but there was a big drone attack on Russia. I don't know if you saw the rounds, but Ukraine, um, like brilliantly drove a bunch of trucks full of drones into Russian territory and launched a crazy attack and basically destroyed airports and a bunch of planes, with drones that they snuck into the country, smuggled in. So that was pretty crazy. But I think that really affected the Russian stock market and everything on that side of the world, and maybe that might have brought us down a little bit too, because obviously, domino effect. But it hasn't been. If you look around, like there's a couple of posts on it, but nothing crazy. Like if it was bigger news, maybe it would have a bigger effect, but it hasn't really, touched that much on our side. And other than that, yeah, I still think though, even with all that, I think we're kind of getting close to bottom here. I don't think it's gonna go much lower. Like you'd expect, if you'd expect it to go much lower, I guess if we had worse news, maybe we would go under 100K. But it looks like it's been holding this level really well at 104, 105. The only thing that might come, I'm not sure what this is gonna do to the market, but Jerome Powell is scheduled to talk in about an hour. Waf, do you know what that's about? Do you have any idea at all what he's about to say? He had like an announcement coming up, or
Honestly, I don't really know what it's about, but I did see like there's rumors of him potentially stepping down, which, I mean, if you look at Poly Market, it seems hard to believe, but
yeah,
I don't think it's anything really.
we'll see. We'll see how it affects the market. Might be a little choppy going into there, but right now I'm not seeing like too much crazy chop. Just kind of a little bit of downward pressure that we've been seeing all weekend anyway. I don't know if it's really Jerome Powell related or not, but we'll see. I mean, usually any upcoming announcement, usually moves us like just brings volatility to the market. So we'll see. Jake did have an interesting post. Obviously, he's not here today; he's feeling down, but he did leave us with a few of his thoughts and snippets a couple of days ago, and I'll just read them out. It's in time sensitive. I'll copy paste the link if you guys want to read through. But I don't know. I guess he just anticipated that we might need this. He said, seeing very strong confluence between a few of the best macro traders that he follows. Not only did they all predict the chop and dump that we have gotten the past week, but they are all of the belief that we hit a bottom sometime in the next couple of days. Maybe it'll already happen this morning. Maybe it'll be tonight. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe they're all wrong and we keep dumping. Anything could happen. So you had Web3 Quant that basically, it's just links that he gave to basically refer to what he was saying, Jake. But Web3 was saying good place to long would be when double top is all over the timeline. Give it a few days. So we'll see. I mean, we did double top and now we did trend down. So maybe we look for a bottom into long. I would just be of the mind that you DCA in, you spot and chill. Don't really long anything. Don't be a James Win. Don't be a James loser. But yeah. Also, FTX users will be receiving over $5 billion of claims next week, beginning on Monday. They are in cash, not in crypto. Nice little liquidity injection for the market. This is something we had talked about in the past, actually. And when it was confirmed that they were going to get cash, I mean, that was the first thought that a lot of us had was, okay, some of that's going to come back into the market. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a slow rollout or if they're just going to give people 5 billion within a day or two. It's beginning Monday, so it's probably going to roll out. It's probably going to be a rollout, but still, I mean, that's going to be a consistent injection back into the market. A lot of these people were crypto people that were dying to get their funds back to reinvest. So I have a feeling that's going to be very good for us, and it's going to probably help us with support and even a nice little bounce here. Um, Okay, Jake says this feels to me like a second chance to buy the dip for those who missed the pump a couple weeks ago. However, I want to be clear. I am not recommending y'all go to 50x long. I am not giving any financial advice, actually. Thanks, Jake. Going to enter my 50x long right now. I'll personally be looking for liquidation candles to buy into on BTC. And oh, look, we got some of those today. And some of my favorite alts, even ETH. If you are planning to buy spot, I would consider doing so on Hyperliquid so that you can potentially farm their next airdrop as well. Enjoy your weekends, folks. That was Jake a couple days ago, and it worked out perfectly for us. Relic 2 added to that, saying that a good trader that he follows last night um, posted like a bottom that he was looking at, and it actually bounced right off that spot. So yeah, nice little tidbits there. I would say that I agree with that. I know I was saying for a long time that I think May is going to be a disaster, and man, we held so well, and actually we pumped, and it was good to see because May usually is bad. I'm a little cautious, obviously. Like I don't want to go all in, and wink, wink. I am already all in, but I'm hoping we have a decent summer and a very hot September, October. Like if we just maintain all summer, and it could be a boring summer. I don't care. Like it could be just sideways action, shit coins and altcoins doing okay on certain days. Like I'd be very happy with that. Let everybody chill for the week for the summer, and then come back strong in the September, October when everybody's sitting down again. I mean, there's a reason why video games only launch around that time, right? It's because that's when everybody's coming back and sitting down, and the school year starts again. People are back on their computers, and I'm feeling like it's the same here with crypto. Like just everything runs on a similar schedule when it comes to online activities. So yeah, I'm still very very optimistic for the next few months. Anybody else on macro? I don't have too much else to touch on. That was about it. But if anybody else has something to add that I missed, go ahead, please.
I think as long as we have like the tariffs back and forth, we're just gonna have the chop back and forth along with it. So kind of like your point, this will chop for the summer, and then I think Q4 we see things like take off again.
That's a good call, actually. I think he had pushed to mid July, wasn't it? Or beginning of July for some tariffs. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I think he did July 9th for European tariffs. But then he came out and said, like, China's, I guess, reneging on an agreement or whatever. But there's no agreement, right? So, I mean, it doesn't even matter what he said. It's just all about what he says. It doesn't even matter, like, what he said before. If he says something new, it's going to affect the market, right? So, you're going to see that with whether it's like stocks like Nvidia and chip makers that are going to be affected by the tariffs, or like Apples of the world, and then it's going to kind of impact us in the crypto world too, right? So until like they really get some kind of resolution or just like stop talking about it, I think we're going to see chop.
Yeah, that's a great call. Always something to look out for. Um, obviously a couple of the courts came out and said his tariffs are illegal, and they're trying to block his tariffs. But I mean, do you agree with me, Waf, when I say that? How the hell are you gonna block a president from doing what he wants, bro? Like he's just gonna find a way to do it, no?
I mean, you can't take the microphone away from him, right? He's still going to talk about it. It's still going to impact the
Exactly.
market, right? Um, but you know what? It's also buying opportunities when like we oversell, right? When we overcorrect, I feel like there's so much fraud and scams and like nefarious activities going on in the market that I mean, you see a price you like. I mean, I say go ahead and buy it because then he says something positive and then you get a nice quick pump like right off of that. So I've been trying to buy the lows or whenever it looks like we're just like way oversold, I'm trying to buy.
That's a good plan, I think. I know you're someone that DCA's a lot, but now are you like putting more into spot when you see that we're getting these buying opportunities?
So I continue in my DCA, but I've been buying like actually more like TradFi stuff. So as like the market sells off, like I've been buying a lot of tech stocks like on the lows, and then trying to flip them as they make like nice gains, and also just kind of creating positions in like some companies I really like the Teslas of the world, the Nvidias of the world. I've been trying to accumulate cheap shares of them as we have like those red days.
Makes sense, yeah. That's still a way of diversifying for sure.
Yeah, I told myself I was a little bit like too concentrated in crypto, so I made like a concerted effort to like really diversify. Like, you know, I had diversification before, but you know, it wasn't like real enough diversification. So now I feel pretty comfortable. Like if crypto takes a dump and everything else is still the same, I still feel pretty comfortable like where I'm at.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you're already sitting on a nice crypto bag, so why not look somewhere else just to kind of hedge a little bit, or not even hedge, just diversify more than hedge. It's a good idea. I guess that's why you're into sports cards too, trying to get a little bit of a bag of that.
Yeah, I get a bag everywhere. And then also like now, I mean, I don't know if you saw my message like a week ago, but like Coinbase is like restricted my account. So now I'm not able to like buy, sell, or like deposit into my Coinbase account. So now that's affecting my off ramp for crypto. And I haven't like really gone through like other avenues yet. So really, I just want to kind of like create fiat and like between like the loop of stocks and like cards and Pokemon and stuff like that. Whereas like I don't ever need to cash out crypto again. That's sort of like so I think my crypto is gonna go like completely dark and like never touch it, never sell it, and I'm just gonna create like you know money in the fiat world. That's kind of like my game plan right now.
Yeah, why? Why do they keep doing that? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. They're just the worst at that. Customer service and support. They just block everybody. I never understood Coinbase how aggressive they are with this. It's not like they have a reason to do it, but they do. There's so many cases of that. It's just odd to me. You're trying to be the company that onboards the masses, but then you're blocking all the big accounts. It just doesn't make any freaking sense.
Honestly, the KYC process is ridiculous because like if I've been a customer with you for 12 years, you clearly know me, and then and if you don't, then that's an issue, right? And then um, you know, you're asking me for like not only for like documentation, but you're asking me like my intentions and questions that are I would say are kind of like overly aggressive,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm not like I gave less information when I got a mortgage. Like I'm not borrowing money from you guys. Like you actually are holding my money. So it's kind of funny. Like they're like all these questions to me when I could really in turn like turn those questions on them. So I'm like giving them until the end of the week before I like lodge like an official complaint.
Yeah, they pry way too much. Like, just let people do what they want. That's why we went away from banks to go with you guys. Just leave us the fuck alone and let us do what we do. It's sad, man. Yeah, I mean, DCA is something I need to do more of, but I don't really have options here in Canada to do that with, and I don't want to touch Coinbase, so whatever. I guess I'll go to the local mafia and set up buys. It's too funny. But moving on here. On altcoins, I mean, we talked about them a little bit, and a lot of people think that now the Bitcoin's kind of sideways. You know what I mean? It's nice to see it sideways at 105. Maybe it continues, but we might be entering altcoin season. I guess Hyperliquid could also be considered an altcoin, right? Um, a lot of people are rotating to that because of how well it's been like holding and how high it probably can still go from here. It found a nice floor in the low 30s. So I think Hyperliquid's definitely another maybe DCA spot. Obviously more risky than the traditional coins. But look what ETH has done, right? It hasn't done much. So I think yeah, okay, maybe ETH will have its day and it will 2x from here, and it has done a little bit of something, but coins like Hyperliquid might trend sideways for a few days, then pop right back up to a new range. And not now that they're gaining more and more popularity and mainstream. Um, Fart coin's at an all-time low also. I think that one, memes come and go. But I think a lot of them are for long term, and fart coin, like, it's shown so much resilience in the past where it's pumped back up to 150 pretty quickly as soon as the main coins ran. So that might be a good range for it too. I think I'm gonna maybe DCA some of my shitcoin bag into fart coin, just because of, like, the last time I sold was in this range and I regretted it instantly, and the 109, 105 range. And I think that's a perfect range for it to bounce back up. I don't think that's a coin that's done by any means. Anytime I see, like, um the market heat up, I feel like fart coin's the one thing I hear about. Fart coin and Hyperliquid are the two that I keep hearing about. So might be a place that you look for an entry in DCA if you really do like to play meme coins. I think honestly, as we go forward, everybody should have a bag of meme coins just because of the way they move. You know what I mean? It's one of the best sectors to buy at lows because they make such violent pumps. Like, even if you just look at Moodang and what Moodang did for, like, that week that we were pumping hard, it moved 100%, like 40 to 100% every single day. It even had a 200% day. It was insane, and it's not like a cheap coin, right? So there's always opportunity out there when nobody's looking at it, looking around. Um, I don't know what virtuals and all that is doing, but I think it's doing good. I keep hearing about it. I wish Ross was here. He'd probably talk to us about it a little bit. But yeah. Waff, are you still in AI coins or not?
Not so much because I know like in that virtuals world, like you have to hold like a big bag to get into those drops, which have been really well. Like you could do really really well on those. I just don't want to get caught out there like holding a lot of virtual because I just think like eventually that whole eco will dump. So I haven't been involved. I know people are still making money on it, but I feel like I'm kind of late, so I skipped it.
Yeah, that's how I feel too, and I'm not gonna put the time now to learn a new, like, sector. I do have that meme coin Virgin. I don't have the actual. Obviously, I'm not farming the actual Virgin, but the meme coin's been doing very well. It's at 20 mil, and it ran up to over 30 at one point. I was like 4x on my bag, and I didn't dump any, but whatever. I don't have that much in there anyway, so I just decided to, like, hold it, and see where it goes. Just have a moon bag, and that's it. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, AI is obviously not going to go anywhere, so let's see if they can keep the attention and make new highs, and also stave off any, like, competition, because it's getting very competitive in that space, right? So we'll see. I mean, I'm still optimistic that maybe virtuals can do something. I know a lot of people are invested in here, and even shitcoins. Like, shitcoins have been a bit dry. Our shitcoin chat, there's been cooks. I mean, we found a few, like, but it's been weird. It hasn't been as clear cut. Like, you have some shitcoins that have done very well, but you have others that you just look at fast, and you're like, huh, maybe that can do good, right? And then all of a sudden you look 3 days later and they're at 50x, just because you didn't really feel like the market had caught on. But what I'm suspecting is happening is that it's low volume right now on shitcoins, and the good coins are staying at very low for a long time. People are just not looking at them and not looking deep into them, and we're coming back to a point where, just like it was in the past with peanut and stuff, we're just way ahead of the market if we do dig in, and we need to have patience on the good coins. And the thing is, they barely move, that it makes us think it's just a scam or someone got hacked. But then we come back like 3 days later and it went to 10, 20 mil. You know what I mean? So I guess my message is, if you are doing shit coins, which even I'm kind of taking it slow right now. I haven't done much. I've just been too busy. But if you are doing shit coins, just keep an eye on the ones you thought were good, or even just sprinkle in, and just don't sell right away. Wait to see what happens even a couple days down the line, because I feel like right now the market is delayed a little bit. It just takes some time before you see the action you want to see in some coins. Um, Obviously you're gonna have stuff like Loud that come out, and I'm sure you all heard about Loud. It was very loud on the timeline where everybody was farming for the top 1,000 spots. and top 100 spots even, so they can get a guaranteed allocation. And that did really well actually. Right off the bat, it came out, and people were able to dump for a big profit. And I guess we slept a little bit on it. I wasn't online that day, but because it launched fast, so I think people didn't really expect it, right? They did their farming with it one day, and the next day they launched the coin, and the coin you were able to get it at like 5 mil, and if you were fast enough to pick it up in the first few minutes that it launched, you could have sold it at 20 mil maybe an hour later. So there was opportunity there too, just to buy the dip and sell tops if you wanted to, or you know what I mean. I'm not sure what it's doing right now. I'd have to take a look. Let me actually go see. It's probably down hard now, but nah, it's gonna take me too long to find the CA. Fuck it. Um, it's not worth it. But I don't know if you're into all that stuff. Maybe look at it for a buy. But I think too many people were too heavy like on pre-sale, and I got a full unlock. I'm pretty sure they got like a full unlock right off the bat. That there's gonna be some sell pressure on that for now. But you never know. I mean, it took the world by storm. Everybody knew about Loud, so maybe over time it does like Kaido did and just keeps attention. Even though Kaido's a much different product, and it's actually a good product. Let me go see what it looks like. Let's pull up the chart. Yeah, down to 7 mil. Wow, this thing got crushed. So you were able to pick it up if you really wanted to at 5 mil initially. Some people even got it lower than that actually, but we'll say 5 mil looked like a range that was gettable. And people sold it at like the 16, 20 mil range, and now it's down to 7. So the sell pressure is bad. But if there was any bottom, it would be here. Like the volume picked up like crazy now at the 7 mil range. So you never know. Maybe this would be a good bounce spot, but you'd have to wait for news, and it's still very risky. Like, did anybody really care about Loud other than, oh shit, crazy airdrop for cheap? I don't think so. I don't know. You'd have to look into it to think if it's a good buy spot, and if you wanted to be a bag holder on something like this. Other than that, we had actually a crazy call over the weekend in shitcoins, and none of us took it really seriously. Like, I saw the call, and I didn't act on it. Again, I was away all weekend, but I just kind of glimpsed at the chat. Brian Dubb was found a post from Ryder Rips. If you all remember Ryder Rips, it's that guy that basically went head to head with Hyuga and tried to take them down, but then got sued. He made like a anyway. You know who Ryder Rips is. Fucking a lot of us think he's just a loser. So anyway, he posted a hint. He hinted at a deal with it meme and how it's a good meme. And people started speculating, including Brian Dubb, started speculating that he might drop a shitcoin, a meme coin, in the next coming couple days. And he did actually. So it actually ran like crazy. It ran up to 6 mil. And you could have got it super cheap. You could have got it at 60K, 100K if you were paying attention. He created the meme, and it ran kind of hard. It ran up to 6 mil pretty instantly. Guys like Frank came out of the woodwork to trade again. Like he was been retired for a little while. He's been trading on side wallets and getting absolutely wrecked. But this he bought on his main wallet. Lexa Pro, same thing, came out, bought it, and he made a nice post about it on why he thinks it's bullish. And it did decent. The deal with it meme did pretty good, but it ran to 6 mil and it crashed all the way down to 1.5 mil, 1.2 mil right now. So like, I'm not saying go buy this. I'm just basically recounting what happened at MVHQ over the weekend and how we found a monster cook that we didn't really take advantage of. My personal take on this is I'm not buying this for a for a pump because I don't trust Ryder Rips. I'd rather not give him any of my money, and I know he's just gonna dump because he needs the money. He does have a large lawsuit to pay for after all. So I think things like this are just going to be mass extraction. Him and his little buddy Polly, they love to do this. They love to come out with coins and just extract off of everybody. So I'm not looking to buy into this, but it was a decent cook for anybody that got in. And who knows, even at this level, if you really do like the guy and you think he's gonna push it again, you know what I mean? This is where you want to buy, obviously, but I would not personally do that. Moving on to farms. Same old thing for me. I've been saying it over and over. Every week I say it, but I have my little abstract farms that I do a lot along with a lot of us in here. Like I do my Gigaverse like I always do, and my Myriad, which is exactly like Polymarket. Just put in some bets and collect them. Um, or roach racing, and that's it. I just keep it going. I mean, it's just a steady farm. The prices and of NFTs and stuff, they stay pretty high because people make they make nice XP on them. So that's always fun. Like you can play the game there on abstract pretty easily when it comes to new launches and stuff. Final bosses, I think we talked about them last week, but they revealed and took a monster hit to point one, and they bounced back up to point two. I mean, that team is trusted, so it's been nice to see them come right back up. Um, on chain Genesis Heroes took a dip. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'd have to ask somebody that's playing the game, but I guess it's just natural regression. Yeah, it pumped up to point four before the new season started, and then it came down a bit. I saw they had nerfed something in the game, but I'm not playing, so I couldn't even tell you really much about it. But that came down a bit. Might be an entry for people that were looking to farm OCH for XP and stuff. Maybe if tomorrow, I think tomorrow when XP resets and people claim their XP, if they see that they got a lot of XP just off OCH, because they'll see like a big gap in how much XP they got, it might be a buy opportunity there. But again, 0.28 is kind of high, right? So up to you if you want to do that to add to your little farms. Moving on to NFTs, the big surprise of the week, Moonbird's up like 3x. I think they were trading at 0.2 or 0.3, and they rocketed to 0.9 on the news that basically another company bought them. I forgot who it was. I think it was o- OCAP Games was them. I think it was them that ended up buying Moonbirds, and bullish for Moonbirds owners, I guess. They're not as underwater anymore, so that's nice to see. But it just feels like all these companies, like Moonbirds, we wanted them to get sold, right? We didn't want it to just get held to zero. So it's nice to see that they got moved finally. Um, and it feels like anytime we see a company kind of sell off an asset, like we saw with Bored Apes with a couple of their assets, they actually do a lot better. So good on them to let go. Maybe it's because it gives optimism that now a real company is gonna have another company is gonna have control and do something different with that asset. The speculation is always hot in this space, right? You always want the speculation and the promise of a hype, the promise of big things, and a lot of like vagueness on what your asset's gonna do. And from what we've known in the past, that's always when it's gonna do much better, right? When a token is coming out or whatever. So who knows? Maybe now they're gonna be like, oh, Moonbirds, hint at tokens and leak information about tokens coming up for Moonbirds. So a lot can happen now, and I think that's what people are speculating on. Bored Apes flat, 13.5. They've been there for a little while. They grinded up a tiny bit. But yeah, pretty flat for now. I guess yeah, that's it. Just normal Bored Ape activities. Another winner on the week. Let me take a look here at the weekly chart. The Kaido Genesis NFTs revealed into actual PFPs. So that was cool. I mean, people really enjoyed that. We saw them run to 3.5, I think it was midweek, and came back down now to 2.7. But the Kaido Genesis NFTs, since they do give allocations and stuff for projects, just like we saw, I think they give bonuses to people that were on the Gaps leaderboard. I'm not sure about that. I'd have to get fact checked, but I think it does give you bonuses. And like we just saw with the loud loud drop, right? It's potential profit for people that have those NFTs. So good little project to look into there. And yeah, Doodles are up a little bit, but they've came down so hard that I don't even want to talk about them. The other big winner is Good Vibes Club. That thing launched a few months back. I mean, we all saw it launch, and we weren't sure what it was going to do. Like personally, I just thought it was going to be a cabal thing. Nobody's going to really care about it. 3D art, who cares, right? But man, people vibe with them. I know a bunch of people in MVHQ that made a lot of money with these, and a lot of big holders in our walls too here, and they just keep grinding up. They're at point 0.9 now. Just a couple days ago, I think they were above Doodles, so or close to Doodles floors. So it's nice to see that this project's doing well. I mean, you want to see a new NFT project do well. It gives us a little bit of legitimacy and it gives us a little bit of excitement because we all love NFTs. We want to see them do well, and it just feels like as much as I don't really care about, like I didn't care about the art and stuff, I love that we're doing good here. I love that Good Vibes Club is moving, and yeah, I kind of do regret not taking it more seriously before, not maybe buying one or two to flip. But that's nice to see. I hope they keep going. It would be nice. I would love to see a new project with 5 ETH. I'd cope like crazy, but I would also be very, very happy to see that happen. I saw a little bit of action on the runes this week, but I think they came back down. The dog rune, oh, it's back up. It's at 4.2 sats. That's not too bad. But I'm not gonna cover Bitcoin runes yet. Let them simmer a little bit. And when they start pumping, I'll tell you guys it's time to go. Time to dump these things. But for now, we're as low as ever. Bitcoin ordinals, same thing, kind of flat. Some of them did pump on the week. They have a lot more volume coming in than in the past, but still their floors are still kind of low. I think people are just afraid of letting go of their Bitcoin, and I wouldn't want to be letting go of my Bitcoin either. So I understand it. Like I'm looking for exits on my ordinals, so I understand why nobody would want to buy any. Waff, are you still in here? Are you trading ordinals at all, or what are you doing there?
I don't even look at them anymore, man. I just that whole ecosystem just a hot mess right now.
Yeah, I guess we just need the bear market to come back for them to do well. I don't know. Let nobody want Bitcoin anymore. Maybe we'll get them doing well again, and then we'll have to hold for 4 years that Bitcoin just to have it back to where we want it. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll let it simmer. I try not to look at it either because it just gives me a heartache of how much Bitcoin I could have had, and instead I just have JPEGs. Same shit as last cycle, but on a different chain. I mean, I knew it, but whatever. It is what it is. We move on. Dive Bars had a question. He says, Jinzo, do you do any hyper EVM farming? I wish I did more. I did buy some Hyperliquid for the first time last week, even though I was keeping an eye on it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I just, we get stuck with the mentality of making quick profits with shit coins, and we end up always round tripping those profits. And when we could have just done the simple play we always thought was right, and it's to buy the boring tokens that are gonna do well over time, right? So, and the hype was one of those. Who's we? Oh, I'm talking about me, myself, and I here, buddy. We, and I'm sure a lot of other people too. But yeah, so we get caught up, and I think that's kind of the problem with being in the space all the time, like daily. If I was just a casual, I think I'd do better. And it's crazy to say, right? Because we're in the space all the time, we know what's happening. But as a casual, you can just park stuff and forget about it. Whereas when you're in the space every day and you look at charts every day and you look at opportunities every day, you get bored because you're like, what am I gonna do with my money? It's not moving today. You know what I mean? What am I gonna do with my Solana? I want to grow it today. So you go on and you do moves and you think, okay, cool, I'm good at this. Let me flip, 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 and then all of a sudden you make one bad flip and you lose it all. So it happens often, happens to a lot of people, and I guess my message there is just simplify it. You don't need to be trading every day, and that's one of the sacrifices we do make because we're here every single day. Is that what the fuck am I doing in front of these screens all day? Let me buy this. And let me see. This I just heard about this shitcoin. Let me buy that. And then you end up shooting yourself in the foot. But hyper, yeah, just to come back to that because we're getting off track a little bit here. The 1,000 yard stare of a soldier. I think it's great. I think I need to concentrate on it more. And now that we had that crazy hype last week and it's dying down a bit, it's a good time to kind of look at farms over there. And I'm gonna put the rest of my hyper liquid to work here and try not to make the same mistake of um and try not to make the same mistake of losing it all and actually growing it into something significant. Oh, for those interested, I think there's a Pokemon Center queue that just went up. I'm logging in now to see. So maybe we'll get some live Pokemon drops. Oh, their cap just sucks. But anyway, so Dive Bars is saying, I'm just wondering what the sentiment is. It's kind of wild. There's been so much CT Mantra for season two. Yeah, Dive Bars, because they have a large allocation. Sorry, a large allocation for that season. So people are expecting it to do well, right? And what we've seen from this ecosystem is that the floors just hold up nice, and everybody has FOMO. I personally am more in of the mind that it's over farmed now, so I'm being a lot more cautious. Like, I mean, it is over farmed, right? Um, so I'm being way more cautious on it, but I still want to participate. What if they give you like a flat value for participating, right? There's that too. So yeah, I think it's worth at least getting some some like allocation of whatever it is. Like just if it's hype or just playing on the chain or maybe trying some shitcoins over there. A lot of them did bad, but some of them did well. So they might even, over time, maybe one or two of them will be a mainstay shitcoin. So just be careful, but I think it's good to at least play there. Even if it's just providing liquidity, or even if it's just like if you're someone that likes to go long or short and play leverage, do it on Hyperliquid. Don't do it anywhere else because they will have decent rates, funding rates. I mean, and they won't eat you alive like you do on other exchanges where you get wrecked. Yeah, that's all I have on that, man. Field reports. We have Labubu Lafufu Lol You Need by Mint Mazal. So Mint Mazal made a crazy call a couple weeks ago about Labubu and how that would be a great pickup on shitcoins. And I don't think any of us took it seriously. But hey, Labubu took the world by storm, and he was right. Mint Mazal was way early, and we could have made a killing on that. But yeah, he made a nice mint report on coins that he likes and how he got them super cheap and why they'd be a good buy. And then you have Gladiator with Succinct Testnet Farm. That might be a great cook. And yeah, that's about it. Not too many field reports, but those two are definitely worth a look. Other than that, yeah, not much else. Our mint came to a close. We talked about it last week, but that's done. On to the next steps. We will announce what's next for that here soon, but keep an eye out on that. But that's it for me. Unless anybody else has anything else, I think that's going to be wraps.
Don't
Join
forget
me.
to vote for MVP, whoever your favorite candidate is.
Oh, right. That's today. Man, we're already in June. Holy. Yeah, vote for MVP, guys. Get out there and vote. Vote. Bring in some new MVPs. Yeah, if it's repeats, that's fine too. Just go vote. And join Pokemon. It looks like there is a queue up. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good week.